award in a Lifetime Achievement Award. This award is presented to architect Shankar N. Kennedy from Sankhli.
He was very cool, smiling. You know what he said? I must have done something good. And somebody has recognized. I'm so happy to get this award.
Out of the world, actually. I mean, to receive j.k. Cement Award of the Year is always a pleasure, and it literally boosts us, to do something good in future as well.
I'm ecstatic, and it's quite unbelievable because this is one of very early projects from our practice, and to win the Architect of the Year is a very, very special occasion. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, I feel great because it's always great to win something after hard work.
It feels great actually because this is an award. It's a very old and established Indian Architecture Award. It's been in its 33rd year, and a lot of the architects and the masters we've respected starting our careers have won this award. So it's a great feeling to be amongst the winners of the JK Awards.
So we feel very honored to be a part of this prestigious award.
Always happy to win awards, and I think it's great when we get it from peers in the industry itself. I think it's driven by people who are in the industry, who are architects, so it's definitely a pleasure to win this award.
It's very exciting. JK Awards are one of the awards which we really look forward to, and it's very exciting that we have won the award for the project.
I'm very happy to win this prestigious award today because JK is one of the very important awards of the country, and so feeling very, very happy about that we have got this award.
It's a pleasure of moment. The team has taken a lot of efforts for this project, and I think we deserved this.
This platform gives you to do always a good work more and more, and you learn from this, and you meet people and who are like your mentors during college time, and then you feel always good, and it encourages us to do more and more good work in that way.
So when you have the client brief and when you have the context with you, so when you go with these two aspects, together, definitely something new will come, because that is a very what I can say is made for the particular place. Then design has to be designed as per the place and not as per the kind of a dreams. So it is very important how you design into that particular place, because building has to be rooted into that place.
So this one is in Thane, in Bombay, our project, and therefore whatever we did had to be practical. It's for one of India's largest developers. So we just used practicality as something that became really beautiful. For example, we've got swimming pools on top of other spaces, so the pools themselves become ways of shielding the lower spaces and decreasing the air conditioning loads. Or for example, we've got this beautiful metal screen that not only keeps the sun and the rain out, but also looks beautiful, edgy, and looks like a lantern in the night, which we call the project as a lantern in the park.
We are architects. We are not like fine art artists. We are like applied artists. So we always have to balance this both sides. On one hand, we have the practicality of things, and on the other hand, it's the spirituality or the qualitative side of it. So it's what we do every day. So it becomes your habit eventually. Then that's what you look for in every project.
Well, we used a lot of innovation in this project. One of the primary concerns was that this was a house in Ahmedabad with temperatures soaring to about 44 degrees.
So while we were trying to achieve to keep the temperature of the building cooler inside, we also use the device to enhance the aesthetics of the building as well. So we played with this whole system of pergolas which shade the building and at the same time create this beautiful dynamic shadows and use sun as the medium of art.
It's a sort of a translation of the traditional veranda. You know, so a veranda used to be a kind of a space between the inside and the outside. It's a sort of a transitional space, you know. And here, but this is a very different context. It's a multi-storied building, but we try to introduce this idea of the veranda as a sort of a liminal in-between kind of space which happens on different levels. So at one level it is just a protection for climate. So like the traditional veranda, it would protect against rain and the heat for the interior spaces. So the plan keeps changing at each level, you know, and it also allows for flexibility in the future. So people can, there's no sort of grid of beams on the soffit. So you can change the partitions as maybe the change of the build, you know, the future use of the building changes.
To create a museum where museum is not something which in India we sort of look forward to go to. So the focus was on creating a public space which encourages people to come to, but at the same time creating very simple architecture which generally blends with the surrounding, and robust architecture which is less maintenance over a period of time. So that was the main focus.
The ideas that I am putting into a design is majorly looking at what the contextual response is there, what is the client's need, and then we try to see that what maximum we can able to give to the client, and that is our first agenda, to work for that.
So it's a nice thing about Bangalore, like we practice in Bangalore, and about that is like, you know, it's a nice city to encourage you, and there are nice there's a platform already created by very nice practitioners, like very young practitioners, and then there are senior practitioners also. So you have already a background, and you should like see what they have done and what now people are doing and what current scenario is about. And the space and flexibility, what we are talking about in our project, what we learned also, and what we did here. And I think we started with very tight houses, like, you know, like 20 by 40, and what Bangalore is like many of the South Indian cities, like divided into these layouts, like 20 by 40 is the least plot size what we did, and then there's a 30, 50, 60, 40. So how to tackle these smaller footprint, but still you get in light, ventilation, and this is what 5 elements of nature we always talk about in all our projects, like 5 senses, like there's a light, a wind, and then there's a touch, smell, and there's a feeling about it. And overall it's like an experience of a project rather than how it looks. So it is more about a feeling than looking. So I think we are more interested in that how that experience makes you aware of certain things, that you are staying close with nature. And I think future is all about that.
Our biggest learnings were that everything is about teamwork and persuasiveness. Architects tend to work in cocoons, and because here the project is large, we had to work with multiple teams across cities, and a lot of times things don't align with our architectural intent, and that is where we have to sort of persevere with the idea and persuade people to sort of see things from your point of view. And I think these are the two things that really we learned and we now appreciate and hold very dear.
There were a lot of learnings, especially the site was challenging. It was a lot of terrain, a lot of rocky areas. And to work with that, working with the building, making sure that we don't lose the idea and being able to push through whatever hurdles which we got throughout the project, through the budgetary requirements or through the contractors or through the materiality, we are able to make sure and we continue our focus.
The key learning for me is that on one hand it is a very small site, how to capture and use it best, and how I can help materialize dreams of people.
Our key learnings were working on spaces with light and silence. So I think we'll continue with producing more of such works.
Learning is a process, and it evolves gradually. So you cannot just say key learning. It's a process which will continue. It's like, looking for perfection, and you know that you cannot get the perfection. But the beauty of reaching towards the perfection is the process. The process is a wonderful thing one should go through. That's the beauty of architecture.
The key learnings from this project, the House 20 by 22, is that how can you design a project into a very, very compact spaces, but yet can make a more free and open spaces. How can you give more to your client? And that is what something that we really was the key learning after this project.
I think one of the learnings is that the function or the form of the building actually came about from the concerns, the pragmatic concerns that we have, and that was primarily climate.
It also led us to understand the vernacular architecture better and adapted a lot of vernacular practices in this building as well to kind of make it more efficient in terms of the internal temperatures, etc.
Lot of learnings, the usability of the building is which some of the spaces which we haven't thought it. We haven't thought while we're designing the building, but client is using according to that. I'll give you an example. There is an amphitheater at the back, So client sent us a photo with lot of women sitting there, and they have a cultural program happening there. So it feels really good, There is nothing happier moment than this when what you design and it is being used according to that. And sometimes it goes beyond that. That is the real learning for us.
What we learned is you should collaborate, how to collaborate as a team, and as an unskilled labor, how that unskilled work you should actually make it as beautiful as straight line, and there's one line drawn by hand, there's a difference. So we learned many things with this.
On a professional level, I think it has given us tremendous confidence. 𝐤𝐭 Architect of the Year award, as we know, is a very serious award, and it sort of reinforces or just tells us that we are on the right path.
Getting this award for this category means that we have been able to achieve the right aspects for the public architecture, as well as making sure that the architecture and the styles and the strategies we have adopted are in the correct path.
This award is very important for every creative person, because more than anything he wants his peers and others to recognize it and give a pat on his back. So it will inspire me a lot, and that's the best thing that I can have from it.
Yeah, so this award will be as a threshold for our journey, next journeys, and I think professionally we are trying to contribute to society. So that's a tube house which we have designed, and a series of it will come in next practice.
The impact of this award is very is deep, because this is one of the biggest award of the country, and people recognize, because of this award, they recognize your work.
Award has given us a sense of honor that we are amongst some of the most looked upon architects that we were growing up with, and it has re-energized us.
It is really important for us how we can take it from this to the next level, because it is our responsibility now, to do good work and reach to the society as much as we can, and how architecture can be reached to the people, and how architecture can help to the people. That is really important, and this award, really boosts us to do all this stuff.
I think it will impact in a very positive way, where you take some learnings, and we saw many entries, and we interacted with many architects, fellow architects here who has won this award. I think we will take a very positive things from here.
My advice to young architects is that architecture as a profession has a very steep learning curve after you graduate. And if you don't go through that learning curve, you sort of tend to falter later in your profession. So therefore, you must spend at least 4 to 5 years working with somebody you admire.
A lot of interesting kind of projects which are happening, be it museums, be it housing, be it hospitality. I think it's very important that you choose a particular aspect which you want to focus on, which is close to your heart.
My advice to the aspiring architects will be that you have to work for the betterment of the humankind, work for people, understand their requirements, and try to give the maximum and multifunctional spaces.
I think the only advice I would give young architects is they should look at sustainable practices. They should look at how the world can kind of be a better place with our architecture.
I think it's important for young people to be able to not necessarily to push the boundaries as they see it, because that's how you find your own space.
Keep looking things, and don't settle up. Because design, every day you can improve it. Design has no boundaries at all. So keep working on it. Don't settle with small things. Whatever the project size is, whatever the scale of the project is, but we have to do it better every day.
We could see many college students just coming out and starting their own practice. Nothing harm doing that, but I think if you just work and learn with a master and for some time, I think then that scenario of looking at a field will be very different. I think.
Keep enjoy doing it. Don't look for results. Just enjoy the process, and that's it. The result will come as a byproduct.